Okay, this makes sense to me. Good commercial. Very good commercial. It makes sense. Alright? This commercial makes sense. The other damn commercial with a car driving on through, you know, and then you would get a ticket for driving like that. You know, all that stupid shit like that is what makes our minds do psychological storage of unnecessary stupidity that leads to acts of idiocy. That's what I'm talking about. Like the whole ideal of trying now to make that whole city being frozen solid still. Like we all know we saw. All of a sudden it just comes one street and the other side is all plowed and manicured and fresh looking. For some reason the snow was so uniform, it just snowed so hard it shut down that one side of the street and the other side didn't even get damaged at all. What kind of idiocy would that be? If you think I'm lying, okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'll go back and show you that. Alright, trust me, I'm going to put it on freaking DVD for you, whatever it takes to show you how commercialism and mediocrity can always set the stage for propaganda that will be enticing your ass to be an idiot. Okay, believe that. Oh yeah, by the way, you know what happened yesterday? I had to go somewhere, so when I went in there, I was sitting around a lot of white people. Everywhere you go, you be sitting around a lot of white people, either a lot of Mexicans. It's like, I be saying, damn, what's going on with that? It seems like everywhere I go, I'm outnumbered by either whites or Mexicans. It's like, where is the groups of blacks? Oh, that's right. In jail. Oh, check this out. When I was in there, you know, I was just sitting there chilling. Minding my own business. You know,
also, day after day of rain in the south is saturating the region. We'll check the radar to see who will see more of it.
You know, I'm nice and
where
pleasant.
severe weather could strike. And after the rain clears, the cold comes in for some.
Loving everyone. Being a G. And of course, the people that I was around wasn't in that spirit. They were sitting around with dull, expressionless faces, just so unhappy and incontent with the whole idea of breathing and happen to be on earth with other people who they feel shouldn't be on the earth, especially when they go to make comments about they tired of being murdered by us. How dare they have the nerves to suggest that they should be somebody who thinks so highly of themselves that they should want to try to impede or be in opposition to the mistreatment of themselves that they receiving from the acts of our motivated through stupidity, atrocious deeds that always kind of dropped on them, and the nerve of them to have that freaking energy to want to complain about it. And I know they starting to complain about it will probably lead to eventually doing something to make it stop. So I can't have that. And so I'm going to just sit here regardless to how much he tries to be smiling and thinking he has the right to be happy. I'm going to just show my total disregard for his presence and make it perfectly honest and obvious to him that I think that him being around here is something that should make me be feeling very disturbed and not finding peace in myself. And it's just really bad that he has to be on the earth breathing. And I'm looking at you like, you know, the real reality of that is that your dumbass is wasting your whole life and creating bad circumstances for yourself that you're going to have traumatic things follow you to the wherever you're going based on those bad. See, when you sit there and deliberately mistreat other things on the earth because you feel that you privileged behind your religion and your teachings that is misguided and used to make you be a tool to be a fool to make wealthy people who implemented that shit more wealthy. But you can't get that. Even though I was sent it as a prophet to tell you that you want to hate on me and see me sitting around somewhere and want to look at me with hatred. And when I showed you the wars already prior to my getting here, and the reason I came. So, like again, I'm going to tell everybody, don't look at me, listen to what's coming out of me. That's what you should do. You know, all you white men running around here now, and white women too, trying to be mad at everybody that's black on the earth for this policeman up in California. That ain't even up here with us. That ain't in Ohio. That ain't in Illinois. That ain't got a damn thing to do with nobody on this earth except that LAPD and they shit that went on with them whenever they was doing what they was doing when they got that friction amongst themselves. And you hypocrites, after everything you have done to us, have the nerves now to want to throw the blame. And even if, look, let me explain something to you. There was a fire and everything, all the typical stuff to go along with the same Gestapo shit, the same stuff that went on through slavery, burning of villages, everything, same stuff. Same stuff. Don't be trying to put every melanated person on America's soil as responsibility for that war in Los Angeles with that corrupt, rotten ass LAPD force. Because I'm gonna tell you something. If you do, this is what I want you to do. You pay attention to the fact that all those rotten white ass cops that we see beating the shit out of people and writing false tickets to everybody went in opposition with that black man, and we know why. Because the sunlight is always on us melanated people making us do godly deeds. So that's the only way we all gonna ride with having to be in the same boat with that whole ordeal, because we know he was a soldier of God that was getting at y'all wicked asses. So you know what? Take that. Frown at yourself. Wicked shit you've done. And that's just the beginning. This is what you need to worry about. It's this weather. Especially the New England states. All that snowfall is to make water. And all those states that flooded heavy with this snow that's falling right now, this last snow that fell, covered up those 7 states, worry. Because it's going to keep coming. And it's going to mix with ocean water and flood every damn thing. Because you know what? You motherfuckers killing us on this planet, and I know that. We all know it. So guess what? All the land that you stole and the land you murdering us to keep, guess what? It's going to be worth having if your ass is a fish. All that. Just know that. Oh, coming soon to y'all asses too, Mr. What is that? Oh yeah, you a peninsula. You got water all around you. This time it won't be a hurricane. We just make the ocean level rise about enough to just put 4 feet of water all over your ass. Okay? Okay, Mr. You want to see all the black people off the earth? Okay, good. Good, because you know what? This is the type of shit, the power you don't need to accomplish that. Your genocide that you have done has not done anything but made my mother get mad as hell. And your asses are getting ready to pay for that stupid ass shit. Believe that. Trust this. Change your comment. It's time for you to stop staring me down. You cannot combat the sun. Your Jesus is not going to save you. Your crimes have already been committed enough to make you be destroyed. Do not cause any more damage to yourself. Hello, Marriott Hotel. Okay, so what you're looking at right here is the remains of Detroit. Now look at all these houses. Look how dilapidated they are. See, this city right here had so many black people in it. They had jobs. General Motors, Chrysler, Ford, all those jobs. The white man took them and sent them to Mexico. He moved them away from the black people so the black people source of revenue would be lost. After they took all the infrastructure of the black people away from them under the skies of the 1960 riots. After they had the riots, they deliberately burned down all the businesses of the black owners that owned all the stores at that time. Once they burned those stores down, they didn't have the insurance companies pay those people the insurance policy because they by it being a riot, were able to back out and saying that it was something that wasn't covered in the policy because it was a state of unrest, which was declared a state of emergency. All that bullshit, white propaganda that helped them do shit like that, where they could destroy nationality. These used to be factories, where there was jobs. Okay, right here. These were jobs that they deliberately moved to Mexico. That's why Mexicans have their big ass attitudes, because the white man did all that to tell them. All this is the plants. All the plants that they closed down and sent the jobs away. You can see our architecture still being used, the arches and everything, by these white men, using our knowledge, and then at the same time killing us and destroying us. All this is Egyptian knowledge, all of it. All these structures that you see, then look, they leave them dilapidated, just like they did Egypt. Once they get all the money out and everything that they want, come up with a new plan now, well, we don't need this stuff anymore. They don't care. They'll just pull out, knowing they destroyed this land, and that as long as these structures are still here, this land cannot regenerate itself, and they don't give a fuck. This is the sorry bastards they are. So that means if for some reason they pulled away and left all these buildings in this downtown area, they wouldn't care. They just leave the buildings there and leave. This is why the earth is dying. This is why there's no jobs. This is why women are prostitutes. This is why people are in a state of depression. You can't get medical treatment. Like when I explained to everybody, my tooth, I can't get it pulled. Everybody laughing, ha, it's your fault. You should have insurance. No, you shouldn't. You should have a society that is sure that every citizen that has a medical problem, their medical problem will be addressed. Now look at all this failure of our government. It's all government failure. The people who govern this country under any other circumstance would be fired. But the fact that they had a military and the weaponry stopped that from happening. Now, I want you to know something. None of this stuff right here that you just saw is accidental. It's all corporate policy. You do not have a whole city that go to shit like this and a whole country that go to shit like this without having to recognize that it must be some type of mind behind this. This is like anything that consumes. It has a method. Otherwise, it wouldn't be spreading. Anything that moves has life. So when you see this type of decadence spreading in a society with thinking people, before you see it growing in a society with thinking people, the society is wrong where all this thinking people perish, you want to ask the question, why? What is wrong with everybody's brains right here? Well, we can't stop all of this stuff right here from happening around us. I'll tell you what's wrong. Religion and greed. These people right here has found a method of killing the black people all off the planet so they can keep everything to themselves. If they keep these structures around and don't let the earth regenerate, by the time we all is dead, they could come and bulldoze all this shit over and start growing plants and shit for themselves and have the whole planet. Don't think I don't know what the fuck you motherfuckers are up to, okay? Because I do. They destroyed us by building this stuff, destroying the trees, destroying the water, and then when we all die and be gone, they'll have the whole planet to themselves. That's what their plan is. And you all know I'm telling the truth. You don't see this shit going on in the white neighborhoods. Everywhere you see people working is white people and Mexicans, which means they are killing us off the planet and they want to keep our knowledge. This shit right here that we brought you from Egypt. And what makes you think that the light ships does not have a right to kill your ass right back when it's obvious to us that's what you want to do? And you know, to show you just how ironic everything is, look at this right here on this wall. Isn't that something? I can't believe it. Look, right here on this wall. Look at that. Imagine that. Show you, boy, they really think things out. So you're going to deal with the UFOs. Because we know what you're up to. I know what you're up to. I see it all the time. I am not stupid. I see your games. I see how you stage scenarios to make it look like, well, black people ain't the only one